I am in dire need of decluttering my closet and my wardrobe, and I thought it'd be fun to film, do it with you. It's fun to have a little company. This has also just really been on my heart because over the last year, I have not bought as many clothes. I have not been consuming as much as I normally have in the past. I love clothes, I love fashion. It's something that I've always loved. But I've had like, not a no spend challenge, but like a more limited spend challenge over the last year. And at first it was really difficult, but I've actually seen so much fruit and so much joy from it, and how the Lord has transformed my heart to be more content, like not just with my wardrobe, but in life. So I want to talk about that while we do that. My goal is to get rid of 10 things today. So let's see how many we can get rid of. I'm gonna start by getting like everything out. I might do it in sections, like I got most of my tops and stuff out, and then I'll do like dresses and all that kind of stuff. So the reason why I did a not a no spend challenge, but like a do not buy as much kind of clothes challenge last year, it was because not only are we just trying to save more money and budget and be better about that, but I also was just noticing how cluttered my heart had become. Like, it's not even just my closet, it's the fact that I had so many things and it was stealing my focus away from what like truly mattered. I realized that like I was so obsessed with getting the latest trends and following influencers on their like to know it and getting things because they love them and because they look super cute on them. And I realized, I'm like, am I really being intentional about what I'm buying? And I realized I also just wasn't wearing a lot of my clothes because I was overwhelmed by how much I had. Like, I don't know if that ever happens to you, but you just get so overwhelmed by the amount of things that you have that you're just paralyzed, and then you just don't know what to wear because you aren't intentional with that. And so that was like my main thing. I got rid of my first piece, by the way. I just put it over there. That's gonna be our pile. So I just noticed that deeply in my soul. And so I'm like, why don't we just try to not buy any new clothes and get creative with putting outfits together with things that I already have. So I know the lighting is super bad in our room. Michael has his side of the bedroom like blocked off with tape, and then we have blinds, not tape, but like some kind of like barrier so that like it'll be more like light blocking. But my side, I like the natural light, and we also have the air conditioning unit here in the summer, so mine's open. So the lighting's weird in this video, but I want to take a quick pause. I'm making good progress. I've already gotten rid of like 4 or 5 things, so maybe we try to go for like 15 things to get rid of. But I want to take a quick break and read a verse that I love on contentment. It's one that you hear a lot about contentment, but I want to just like quickly talk about it. If your heart is struggling with contentment, whether it's with your wardrobe or with your finances or with where you're living or your relationship status or your health or literally anything, I love this verse. So it's again a very popular one, and it's Paul writing this in Philippians chapter 4. It says this: I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I find myself. I know how to make do with little, and I know how to make do with a lot. In and any all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being content. Whether well-fed or hungry, whether in abundance or in need, I am able to do all things through him, Jesus, who strengthens me. This verse is often really taken out of context, where people will read it and be like, well, Paul was like this super Christian, this mentality that I can do all things because of Jesus, that you know, it's like this prosperity gospel verse that, it's not a prosperity gospel verse. It's just that some people with a prosperity gospel mindset will look at this verse and say that as a Christian, no harm will come to you, everything will be easy, you can do and you can achieve and all these things because you have Christ in you. But that's not the point. What Paul is saying, the secret to being content here, is seeing that Jesus's strength is in him. I think of John 15 when it's talking about abiding in the true vine, that we need to abide in Christ, we need to be in his word, we need to be in relationship and fellowship and dependence and grow from him as our source of life to be content. And so when Paul is saying this, he said, you know, I have learned how to do with a little. Like, I have literally been shipwrecked. I have been on my knees. I have been in need of financial support, but I've also known how to live in abundance and wealth. But the secret to being content, whether you have a lot or you have a little, is knowing that Christ is your strength, that Christ is your source, and that whether you have the biggest closet in the world, that what matters the most is Jesus. And so I think for me, with even just this example of decluttering my closet, I think last year I really realized that a lot of my joy, which true joy should come from Jesus, right? A lot of my joy and my identity and all of that was coming from how much I had. And I was trying to fill this void of just needing more Jesus with more things. And the more things I have, the more clutter, the more often I realize that I can't hear from God, that it's too loud, it's too noisy, and that there's too much stuff getting in the way of God. And what I've learned is, sometimes when we feel distant from God is that we think that God is far away from us, when in reality, God is always near. But we are the ones who stray. We are the ones who add too much stuff into our lives, when really sometimes God often calls us to be still, right? In Psalm it says, be still and know that I am God, right? And that means to set yourself away and apart so that you can hear from God. And so I just love that Paul says this, whether well-fed or hungry, whether in abundance or in need, I'm able to do all things through him who strengthens me. And so this has been game-changing for me in this journey of being content, knowing that God has me where I am for a reason, and God has you where you're at for a reason. God has you in such a trivial sense with the clothes that you have, in the home that you're at, with the finances, with the job. Like, God has a reason, and he is your strength in the little and in the big. I think so many of us think that once we get to a certain paycheck amount, or whether we have a certain amount of followers or whatever, that we'll make it, that we'll be content. But Paul tells us here that contentment, true contentment in Jesus, is what helps us not rise and fall based on people's opinions or whether we have enough money. We can be secure and content in Jesus in little or in a lot because he is our strength. So let's get back to get rid of more pieces from my closet, because honestly this feels amazing. But I just wanted to share a little message and like a little encouragement, if you're feeling that way, to look to Jesus and to trust that he knows exactly where he has put you for a reason. And maybe there are some things that you need to declutter your soul and maybe even your physical life, like my clothes, to hear more from God and to see him more and more as who he truly is, which is your everything. So here's a little hack I have learned in not only just like being on social media and loving clothes, but also like when I worked at Anthropologie and when I worked at Nordstrom before like I started writing books and doing all the things. That was like my part-time like hustle, trying to figure out like what I'm supposed to be doing with life kind of job. Something I learned was having incredible basics in your wardrobe. And this is anything like neutral colors, great jeans, great tops, great sweaters, great jackets that are like your base layers that you can always come to. Because not only is that going to make things easier for you when you're trying to get dressed, but it's also going to take out the stress or trying to pick out an outfit. And then when it comes to like the trendier things, right, the trendier colors or patterns, to still enjoy those and like definitely buy them and have fun with them if you want. But that way, when you have your base layers and your pieces, that way your closet is always timeless and you can build upon that. I've always found that for me, like I've spent a good amount of money on trendier pieces, and then I realized that I wear them for a little bit and then maybe I don't. Oh, loose hanger. And maybe like I don't want to wear them anymore and I've spent all this money. And so for the trendier pieces, I usually spend less. Like I'll go to different websites, try to shop a deal. But then like when it comes to your basics, really like, I don't know, investing your money in those capsule pieces. There are so many shirts that are just inside out on hangers. I think that's just my life lately. Speaking of capsule pieces, this is not sponsored at all. Of course, I will always tell you if something's sponsored. The thing about sponsorships is that I take pride in never recommending something to you guys that I don't personally love or haven't tried and wouldn't put my stamp of approval on. Like, you guys are my friends. I want to give you honest recommendations, but not sponsored. But I have always loved Carly Jean Los Angeles, and I'm saying this because this is a jacket from them. I think this is their Hunter. No, this is not the Hunter. Ooh, what is the name of this one? I am totally blanking on the name of this jean jacket, this denim jacket. But Carly Jean Los Angeles has the most amazing capsule wardrobe pieces that are timeless. They're feminine. They still have fun colors. So it's not like just for people who love neutral colors. But I've been able to invest in these pieces that I can always grab because I'm like, I know it's going to go well with my favorite pair of jeans, or I know it's going to go well with a dress. So that's a hot tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 things. I think we can get to 15 that we can get rid of. This is also a really good way to find hangers and to get more hangers. Also, I would really love to know, are you team fold jeans and put them in like a cubby or a dresser? Or are you team hang jeans? I've always been team put them in a like cubby organizer, which by the way, don't look. We're not gonna even tackle my shelves because things are just shoved right now. I need to reorganize that later. We're just gonna do hanging clothes today. But I've always been team like put jeans and shorts and even like, except for like nicer pants, in a shelf. But Michael has always hung his jeans until we moved into this house. So let me know in the comments, are you team fold jeans and put them in a shelf or hang jeans on a hanger? One other tip I want to give you, and like maybe a permission slip, is to be okay with getting rid of things that you've only worn like once in the last little bit. There are so many pieces, like this skirt, for example. I've had this skirt. It's like a kind of like weird asymmetrical skirt. I loved it for a time period, like maybe 3 years ago. But I've always kept it in my closet when I've decluttered because I'm like, oh, it's cute, and maybe I'll wear it again someday. Which is okay to have that thought, but like keep an eye on if you actually do wear it later. Because I have not worn this probably since I was pregnant with Hunter, which was 3 years ago, okay? So that just needs to go, right? And it's kind of freeing to be able to release that. But anyway, you know, there's things in your closet that you're like, I might keep and wear later, but you never do. So take this as a sign, go get rid of that today. Okay, this last rack of like my tops and jackets is kind of intense because they're just like bulky jackets. Getting rid of this because as much as I like the color, I don't like the way it fits me. So if I don't like the way it fits me, I'm not gonna wear it. Everyone needs a good pair or two of neutral colored linen pants for spring, summer, all the things. Definitely keeping, by the way. I'm just making a different pile because it's getting a little crazy on the bed. Oh, you guys, first of all, this is a hanger that my aunt made me. That's from pieces of my grandma's wedding dress, so it's just beautiful. But this jacket is so special to me. I will always look at this jacket and have fond memories. I got this for my first speaking engagement when I went and spoke at my first conference, and this has been like my conference jacket for a lot of different places. I also wore it to my book launch party, so it's just really special. This jacket was given to me by a sweet friend, and it says Surrender Your Story on the back, which is the name of my very first book. It is so special and sentimental. I will always keep this, even someday when it doesn't fit. Just go in a keepsake box. Shout out Liana. Another blazer, this is an Anthropologie one, needs to be dry cleaned. Keeping for sure. This is what is fun about going through your stuff too, is that a lot of these things I forgot I had, or just like when you have so much stuff, you just like don't see it, or like, I don't know. So now I'm gonna wear this stuff more. I wore this cutie forest green sweater set to the hospital 5 weeks ago when I had Grayson. Another Carly Jean Los Angeles top. Carly Jean, you guys, I'm telling you, it's just so easy. It's just so easy, and I wear these pieces all the time. Guys, I am freeing up so many hangers right now. Okay, so I have a huge pile. I'll show you. I have a pile now of things to get rid of. So let's put these things back on the bottom shelf and then do dresses last. But something that I was doing last year when I did buy an occasional piece, because I did spend a little bit of money on clothes last year, but not nearly as much. And I got way more creative with my outfits. But again, did not buy hardly anything. But what I did do when I did buy things was to buy dresses, because I don't know, it's funny. Like, I've seen this on social media, I've seen it in my own life, that like dresses are not only beautiful and feminine, but they're a lot of times more comfortable than, I don't know, sometimes sweats. So just investing in really good dresses that are comfortable, have pockets, you know, that's a win. So that's been awesome. I'm also like a really, really big jean girl. Like I love jeans. Like I know there's a lot of people who don't like jeans. They think they're uncomfortable, but I always tell people like, you're buying the wrong jeans then. You're buying the wrong jeans. I'm not going to be going through those again because I'm just in a weird spot postpartum, of course. I haven't even tried to put my pre-pregnancy jeans back on, but it's also in the shelf and we're just doing hanging today. But this dress is so fun. It is super wrinkly, but this one my parents got in Turkey for me. It is beautiful. It's like a linen-y. It is gorgeous. It is so fun. I even wore it a little bit pregnant. It's not super stretchy, but it has like a little bit of flowiness to it. So this one's really special. This is like a lounge dress, and I wore this after I got out of bed after having Grayson like a month ago. This is really comfy. Why are all of my things inside out on my hangers? This is how lazy I've been lately, you guys. I'm pretty much going to be keeping most all of these dresses and jumpsuits. Look how fun this Free People one is. I thrifted this one. I'm pretty much going to be keeping all of these because I don't have very many and they're actually all pretty intentional to me. This is a maternity dress I've had since Hunter, but it's from Pink Blush, and so you can wear them even non-maternity, and that's like a go-to in the summer for me. The OG Free People denim overalls, I love these. I actually want to get, they're just the regular straight ones. I want to get the barrel jean ones soon. But again, giving myself grace postpartum. I also just don't want to buy a lot of stuff while I'm postpartum and while my body is just not really sure where it's going to be at, you know? Okay, so walk in the narrow, I'm brushed up against stuff, the narrow closet, but one tip I will give you, the lighting is just so bad in here. There's another layer down here. But one tip I will give you is, I have not been doing that right now because we're just like so in between seasons, but one tip is to organize your clothes by season. So right now I have like a mix of some like winter and some like remnants of fall in here, or like spring, I mean, because fall and winter are interchangeable for me. But if you have either like a place to store up top in a different room, in boxes somewhere, but just to like, that way you can have more space. So again, I need to organize through that right now in my closet. But most of this stuff is for winter and fall and like layers. That way I don't have like summer dresses. I have some summer dresses back here, but I don't have like a ton of summer tops in here because I don't want to be like confused by that. So some of that's in my office. But that's a tip that's helped me. But this closet is just tight. It's just tight. I'm kneeling on the ground right now because I set you up in a weird spot. But let's just do a grand tally of how many things I have gotten rid of today. See if we hit 15. 1, 2, 3, my phone, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I'm good with that. 13. Way more than I thought, actually. We started with 5, didn't we? Or 10? We started with 10. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay, friends, we decluttered 13 items. I'm gonna go donate those the next time I'm out and about. That felt really good. If anything, just let this be your sign to go declutter something physical and to sit with God and see if there's something He needs you to declutter in your soul. I pray that this was encouraging and that it was fun to watch. And I just pray that you find the most joy and the most contentment in Jesus Christ first and foremost. So I love you, friends. I am gonna go chill out before Grayson and Hunter wake up from their naps. I love you, and I'll see you next time.